If units of distance are based on time, then the way that time is divided must also be part of the system. The Earth's rotation is divided into 24 hours, and as it turns out, 24 is a fundamental number. The Fibonacci sequence is one of the most important and beautiful concepts in mathematics. Start with nothing, then create a sequence with something, namely 1. Add the current number to the previous number to get the next term in the sequence. So 0 plus 1 is 1, then 1 plus 1 is 2. The subsequent terms are 3, 5, 8, and so on. Continuing in this way, you get a sequence that spirals out of the void into infinity. Every ratio of successive terms in the Fibonacci sequence approximates the golden ratio phi. The higher in the Fibonacci sequence you go, the closer the ratios get to phi. The ratios oscillate above and below phi, getting ever closer as the sequence progresses. The bodies of innumerable living things are built using the Fibonacci sequence, and thus manifest their forms from the template of phi in their morphic fields. Every number can be reduced to a single digit by adding its places horizontally. For example, the number 13 can be reduced to 4 because 1 plus 3 is 4. Larger numbers such as 55 require multiple reductions, such as 5 plus 5 equals 10, and then 1 plus 0 equals 1. In the end, all numbers can be reduced to single digits called digital roots. The Fibonacci sequence's digital roots repeat with a period of 24. When the digital roots of the Fibonacci sequence are placed around a circle, you can see that all opposite number pairs add to 9. Most people aren't aware that, in addition to hieroglyphics, the ancient Egyptians used an alphabet called uniliterals which had 24 letters. I see this as another clue to the importance of 24. Prime numbers are numbers divisible only by themselves in 1. Prime numbers are the basis of banking security, as it is computationally prohibitive to decompose large numbers into their prime divisors. In the book God's Secret Formula, Peter Plichta noticed that if you arrange all numbers in concentric rings around a circle with a period of 24, then prime numbers exist only on 8 of the rays. This is true for all prime numbers except for the numbers 2 and 3 that are part of the initial trinity of numbers. It's a fascinating coincidence that the Maltese or Templar cross is depicted in the primes, which are so important to banking, since the Templars literally invented multinational banking. Jeremy Stride at code144.com discovered a prime number code at Coral Castle. The complex of megalithic blocks was constructed single-handedly and without heavy machinery by the secretive Ed Leedskalnin in 1920. Many believe Leedskalnin understood the connection between magnetism and gravity, because it appears that he was able to levitate massive stone blocks and float them into position. Leedskalnin said he, quote, discovered the secrets of the pyramids, end quote. His rotor artifact consists of 24 magnets arranged in a ring. In the book The Holy Science, Sri Yukteswar, guru of Yogananda, claimed that the Earth's precessional cycle is exactly 24,000 years, even though traditionally this has been calculated as 25,920 years. Both are correct in a manner of speaking. Although it is now recognized that the rate of precession changes over time, what causes the precessional cycle isn't well understood by mainstream scientists. Walter Cruttenden of BinaryResearchInstitute.org presents a credible model that explains the precession phenomenon. He says the solar system moves, and this in turn changes the Earth's orientation to the distant stars. Our solar system and the Sirius system, which we perceive as the brightest star in the sky, appear to rotate around a common center of mass. In the 17th century, Johannes Kepler discovered the 3 laws of planetary motion, which show that the orbit of every planet is an ellipse, and that orbital speed varies according to where each body is in its orbital path. With this new understanding, it makes sense that the rate of precession would vary as our systems slowly transit an elliptical orbit. So to astronomers in earlier times, it appeared that the precessional cycle was 25,920 years. But now that the yearly rate is speeding up, it's looking more like the cycle could be 24,000 years. In this binary solar system model, the rate of precession per degree varies from 60 to 72 years, with 66.6 years as the average rate. If our solar system truly dances in a 24,000-year cycle with the Sirius system, then 24 resonates with the music of our spheres. Consider the fact that there are 12 notes in the chromatic musical scale. One octave up and down correspond beautifully to a day and night of 24 hours. A mean solar day is defined as exactly 24 hours. Of course, each hour is divided into 60 minutes, and each minute is divided into 60 seconds. So there are 86,400 seconds in a day and night on Earth. The Sun's diameter is 864,000 miles. We find 864 also expressed in alignments, technology, architecture, and urban design. In The Lost Science of Measuring the Earth, Heath and Michelle reveal that not only is the distance from Stonehenge to Silbury Hill 86,400 feet, but Silbury Hill itself is dimensioned in units of 8.64 feet. The 35mm film format used for over 100 years, which continues today with full-frame digital SLR cameras, has an area of 864 square millimeters. This is a most appropriate size to capture the light of the sun. The area of the largest square in Paris, La Place de la Concorde, is 86,400 square meters. The height of the Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco is 864 feet, if you include its glass pyramidion. The quoted height is some 11 feet less, but I think this was done to tie it in more closely with its namesake, the Great Pyramid of Egypt.